because America is gentrifying black people with brown people, this Mexican kicker, this female Mexican kicker, this young lady at Jackson State who's playing on the football team, this could be a strategy for cultural colonization by the migrants. I want HBCUs to be careful.
And here's the story of the day right there. That is Leilani Armenta. And she's going to play and she's going to kick off and maybe even do some field goals tonight for the Jackson State Tigers. Of course, she was on the Jackson State women's soccer team. And because of injuries this week during practice, she's going to get her shot tonight to be a kicker. And what an impressive young lady it's been, and a chance for her. And I'm sure she's pretty nervous at this point. But they have her out there, and SWAC football is underway. And the first kick is short, and it's going to be fielded by the Wildcats, and they'll have great field position after what looked to be a pooch kick, maybe trying to get an onside kick. Quickly about Leilani, of course, Armenta, she's from St. Bonaventure High School in California. She's from Ventura, California, played high school soccer and high school football. So she does have some experience here, and now she's the first woman in Jackson State University history to play in a football game.
So brothers and sisters, first of all, I was sent an article about Jackson State, HBCU Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to Jackson State, all the students, faculty, staff. Shout out to all HBCUs across the country. Someone sent me an article pertaining to the fact that Jackson State has a Mexican female kicker. A Mexican female kicker. I believe this is the first time ever an HBCU has had a female kicker. It might be the first time any Division I football team has had a female kicker. I don't have a problem with the female kicker, and I don't really have a problem with the overall situation. As you know, HBCUs that are state-owned, they cannot practice race-first politics. They have to be multicultural by design, okay? But I want Jackson State University to be careful, and I want all HBCUs to be careful because, as I've said before, because America is gentrifying black people with brown people, because America is gentrifying black people with brown people, because America is gentrifying black people with brown people, this Mexican kicker, this female Mexican kicker, this young lady at Jackson State who's playing on the football team, this could be a strategy for cultural colonization by the migrants. I want HBCUs to be careful. This female Mexican kicker at Jackson State, much respect to the Mexican people, no disrespect to your nation, but I see this as a potential avenue that can be exploited by the American white power structure and the migrant agenda to gentrify the HBCU campus with migrants and other Latinos. Please be careful. Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. Because if you have all these migrants coming into America, all these South American Latinos coming into America, they're going to want to ultimately get into college and things like that. The PWIs is only going to take but so many of them. The PWIs are only going to take but so many of them. So they're going to have to redirect them to the HBCU. And let's remember what Joe Biden did. It's all starting to make sense now. Let's remember what your democratically elected president, Joe Biden, did after he took office the first year. Joe Biden changed the White House initiative on HBCUs. Remember this? We talked about this. I did a live on this. Do y'all remember? About 2 years ago, President Joe Biden changed the name of the White House initiative on the HBCU. He changed it to the White House initiative on minority serving institutions and universities. Minority serving institutions and universities. Minority serving institutions and universities. So what I think is going on, let me tell you what I think is going on. The reason Joe Biden changed the name from the White House Initiative on the HBCU to the White House Initiative on minority serving institutions and colleges, they're going to target the HBCU. And they're going to offer the HBCUs millions of dollars to let the migrants into the university. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Listen to me. What are the HBCUs going to do when Joe Biden offers them millions of dollars to allow large numbers of migrants to attend the HBCUs? You and I both know that these greedy HBCU presidents, not all but many of these greedy HBCU presidents are going to look at the money. They're going to look at the money, and they're going to take the money, and they're going to let the migrants gentrify the HBCUs. Trust me, it's coming. Trust me, it is coming. And in case you don't know, they already have Afghan refugees. They already have Afghan refugees and Ukrainian refugees living at some HBCU campuses. They already have Afghan refugees and Ukrainian refugees already living at some HBCU campuses. So if they already got the Afghanis and the Ukrainians at the HBCU campus, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump to bring the migrants on in. I promise you, these HBCUs with low enrollment, these HBCU campuses with low enrollment, these HBCU campuses with low enrollment, they're going to be the new university home, and they're going to be the new shelter in place for anti-black South American migrants who are being brought to America to gentrify the black community, to eliminate the black community. So that's the one thing. That's the one thing. Coppin State entire baseball team is 100% white and Latino. I did not know that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe somebody from Coppin State can verify. Maybe someone from Coppin State can verify. Maybe someone from Coppin State can verify whether or not the baseball team has been thoroughly gentrified. Has the baseball team at Cotton State been thoroughly gentrified? Has the baseball team at Coppin State been thoroughly gentrified with anti-black Latinos and Caucasians? So we need an HBCU watch. You know how you have a Black Town watch? We need an HBCU watch. This is what I want. If you are an HBCU student, listen to me, HBCU Africans. Listen to me, HBCU Africans. Listen to me. If you are an HBCU student, professor, parent, or staff member, if you are an HBCU student, parent, professor, or staff member, I'm putting together a black FBI to spy on the HBCUs. I'm putting together a black FBI to spy on the HBCUs to make sure they are not being overtaken by anti-black agendas. If you want to be my contact person on your campus, this will be strictly confidential. This will be strictly confidential. This will be strictly confidential. If you want to be my contact person at your HBCU, whether you are a parent, a student, a staff, or faculty, please send me a text message and say, Dr. Umar, my name is such and such. I am your contact person at such and such HBCU college, such and such HBCU university, and I will be sending you updates. I will be texting you updates. I will be sending you articles, screenshots, emails to students, and other things to keep you posted on what's happening. We got to have HBCU watch. We got to have HBCU watch. We got to have HBCU watch. You can text me if you want to be my contact person, and I'm depending on you to send me information about what's being done on your campus, whether it's a rainbow agenda, transformer agenda, immigrant agenda, migrant agenda, defund agenda, shutdown agenda, whatever's going on, sex trafficking agenda, poor facilities agenda, too many white professors agenda, whatever's going on. Shoot me a text, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. I have nothing against the young Mexican lady. She wants to be a football kicker. I hope she live her dream. She might end up in the NFL. Kudos to her. I have nothing against that young Mexican-American young lady. But I'm saying that this is how they infiltrate. It always starts with one person. And then we celebrate the one person. Just like that live I put up yesterday about that Asian marrying a Nigerian. And all the brothers are dancing with him like he's Jesus Christ. You think they are in love? You think the Asians are in love with Africans? You think all those Asians are in Nigeria because they love Africans? You think all those Asians are marrying our Nigerian sisters because they love African people? He ain't married into that Nigerian woman because he loved her. He was told to marry her. Asians move out as a group. They are on code. They are on protocol. They are in alignment. They are on agenda. He's marrying her so he can get access to the resources, the land, and the opportunities. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up? Stop assuming. I'm not assuming. You assuming. I know what I'm talking about. You go to the block party. Bring me some ribs with some extra barbecue sauce on them. And bring me some seafood salad. And I love me some Parmesan crusted lamb chops. Ladies, can I get some Parmesan crusted lamb chops? Can King Kong Consciousness get some Parmesan crusted lamb chops? I'm in the mood for some Parmesan. Anybody got some Parmesan crusted lamb chops available in the Philadelphia area? My South Jersey queens, my Delaware queens, my Northern Maryland queens, my Philly queens. I'm in the mood for some Parmesan crusted lamb chops. I just sent that Negro peeing to the block party. But anyway, as I was saying, that Asian is not marrying that Nigerian because he loved black people. China is on a serious global takeover. China wants to replace Neanderthal nation as the lone superpower on the planet Earth. And every time we see a person of another color, I am not a bigot. I can't be a racist because I don't control the opportunities, the resources, or the privileges. I can't be a racist. I can be a racial bigot, which I am not. But I cannot be racist because I don't control resources, opportunities, and privileges. But I'm very disappointed in African people worldwide. I'm talking to the global African family right now. I'm talking to the global African family right now. I am very disappointed. Every time a non-African decides to invade our private space, we celebrate them. Can somebody tell me why we do this? I know why we do this, but can you tell me why? Why is it when an Asian decides to marry an African woman and participate in a traditional Nigerian wedding, we celebrate them? When a white person decides to be a rapper, a hip hop artist, we celebrate them. When somebody from another race decides they want to make soul food, black music, we celebrate. Why do we celebrate colonization and exploitation? Why do we celebrate colonization and exploitation? Why do we celebrate colonization and exploitation? Now, let me ask you a question. If I went to China or Korea and married a Chinese or Korean woman and decided to participate in a Chinese or Korean wedding, do you think the Chinese men or the Korean men or the Chinese women, and the Korean women would be up there celebrating their culture with me? Do you really think they would be happy that I would be marrying a Chinese woman or a Korean woman? Do you really think they would be happy with me wearing their traditional clothing? Do you really think they would be happy with me dancing to their traditional music? I've been to China. I know how they feel about black people. I've been to Japan. I know how they feel about black people. But whenever somebody wants to invade our cultural space, we are so thirsty for validation and approval from non-blacks. We've been beat down by white power globally for so long that we're so thirsty for validation and approval by non-blacks. Please cut the nonsense. Please cut the nonsense. Our reality is reflected by the music, and the music impacts the reality. And unfortunately, just like social media, the content of most black media has nothing to do with our political agenda, our social circumstances, our intellectual, cultural, or spiritual paradigm. We are making music that is self-destructive, misogynistic, that encourages mass incarceration, black on black crime, snow bunny hopping, and multiculturalism. We need black music and black media to reinvent itself as a weapon of African liberation.